For thousands of years, stories about giants have been a part of the folklore and mythology of a wide variety of countries. Over the course of human history, these larger-than-life beings have captivated the imagination of people, from the biblical Nephilim to the Greek Titans. However, there are certain reports that appear to be more than just fiction. An intriguing piece of evidence suggests that giants may have once roamed the Western Hemisphere and other parts of the world. This evidence comes from the Lovelock Giants, which are located in Nevada. Native American traditions describe a race known as the Si-Te-Cah, who were known for their cannibalistic behavior and were described as being of great proportions. According to the written and oral tales of the Paiute people, these giants with red hair traveled from the other side of the ocean in search of conquest. After many years of bloodshed and persecution, the tribes finally came together to vanquish the last of the Si-Te-Cah, who were known for their insatiable hunger for blood. They did this by enclosing them in a cave, then slaughtering them with smoke and fire. Archaeological investigations conducted in the early 20th century appear to support certain portions of this story. Miners in Nevada made a shocking find in 1911 while they were searching for bat guano in a cave. They found a peculiar assortment of artifacts, which sparked more inquiry into the matter. Researchers discovered thousands of artifacts during formal excavations that took place between 1912 and 1924, including a mummy of a tall human being that stood between 8 and 10 feet tall. Researchers also discovered extraordinary-sized footwear and what appeared to be a massive handprint carved into stone. Local newspapers reported the discovery of 2 additional enormous skeletons, each over 8 feet long, in the vicinity. They buried these skeletons in a manner reminiscent of ancient Egyptian mummification practices. The Americas have yielded numerous examples of giants. Spanish conquistadors gathered information from indigenous Peruvians about giants who arrived by sea on reed boats. According to these reports, the giants were so big that ordinary-sized men only reached the giants' knees. Archaeologists have discovered elongated human skulls that are 3,000 years old and significantly larger than ordinary human bones. The Andes Mountains revealed these skulls. The discovery of reddish hair on some of these old skeletons is reminiscent of the Si-Te-Cah's red hair stories. Despite the skepticism surrounding these discoveries, they align with the persistent legends in North and South America about an extraordinarily tall ancient race. Other continents have also yielded the discovery of gigantic humanoid fossils, from the remains of a 9-foot-tall humanoid in Missouri to the purported examples found in the Middle East. The Lovelock Giants could be just one of many suggestive, yet still contested, signs of giants from our prehistoric past. The Bible's narratives and ancient legends from all around the Mediterranean and Pacific areas extensively incorporate the concept of giants. The book of Genesis characterizes the Nephilim as the offspring of the sons of God, interbreeding with the daughters of men. The Nephilim, whose precise nature remains unknown, are believed to be powerful males with abnormally tall stature. There is a connection between the Nephilim and the events that led to God's judgment, as well as the Great Flood that occurred during Noah's time. This suggests that these giants were responsible for bringing about corruption on the planet. The Bible's most well-known story, David and Goliath, originates from the book of Samuel. In addition to mocking and challenging the Israelites, Goliath was a huge Philistine warrior who stood more than 9 feet tall. It is well known that David, when he was young, used a slingshot to kill Goliath, demonstrating that the enormous stature of the giant was no match for David's faith and talent. Outside of the Bible, cyclopean structures and the fossil remains of enormous individuals have preserved the traditions of giants from antiquity. The Mediterranean islands of Malta and Gozo boast massive megalithic constructions like the Gontija temples, built from massive limestone stones. According to local folklore, these come from a race of giants or giant builders. Giants also exist in the South Pacific, according to regional folklore and creation stories. According to legends from the Solomon Islands, the original humans were towering giants who roamed between the islands before gradually diminishing to the size of current humans over the course of generations. In addition, these giants are attributed with the construction of a number of enormous stoneworks and landscape elements. Titans were a race of powerful divine beings that were associated with ancient Greek mythology. They were said to have descended from Gaia, the earth, and Uranus, the sky. They were huge, both in terms of size and strength. There were a number of noteworthy titans, including Rhea, Oceanus, and Cronus. In Norse mythology, there was a race of giants or trolls known as the Jotun. They lived in a universe that was composed of ice and fire. They engaged in a never-ending struggle with the Aesir, who were gods commanded by Odin. In Hinduism, the Daityas were a powerful race of giants and asuras, demons, who frequently engaged in battles with the Devas, gods, in order to decide who would rule the universe. It is well known that the Asura Ravana from the epic Ramayana had 10 heads and 20 arms, which is a representation of his enormous size and immense strength. The existence of giants is a phenomenon that defies the contemporary scientific understanding of anatomy and biology. However, the peculiarity lies in the prevalence of giant mythology across seemingly unconnected cultures. Stories about giants may have originated from ancient concerns, attempts to explain natural events, or even inflated encounters with rare individuals afflicted with gigantism or genetic diseases that caused excessive development. At the end of the day, giants have come to represent the extraordinary and imposing forces that humans have traditionally projected onto the real and supernatural world that surrounds them. The archaeological recovery of the Lovelock Giants is without a doubt an intriguing chapter in the larger story, which involves the question of whether or not giants once roamed the earth. Whether one chooses to believe the astounding claims about the Lovelock Giants, this remains true. Ancient giant lore and the overwhelming amount of evidence fuel this unsolvable mystery. Given the fact that such mysterious situations continue to surface and fascinate us, it is highly probable that the Lovelock Giants will remain a legendary mystery in Nevada for many years to come.